Hello everyone, it's Mike from Downtown Comics, and as promised, I'm here to go over all the free comic books that we'll be giving away on May 4th, 2024, this Saturday, only a couple days away. So I've got 46 comics on the table here, so let's start going over them. As always, downtowncomics.com is the place to go to check everything out. Like, share, and subscribe is always appreciated, and Free Comic Book Day is a nationwide, even a global event, although we also always want you to come to our store to get your free comics. If you're not in our area, you can go to freecomicbookday.com, use the store finder function, put in the zip code of where you are, and hopefully a local store will be participating. All right, let's go. First off, for those of you who don't know, they do color code the comics. So we see right here that these are green. So we're going to start with green, which are the all ages. So these should be good for any age, young or old. Let's start up here. Every year, Overstreet likes to put out a guide to collecting comics. So this is just a handy little pamphlet for those of you starting out in the collecting world. This kind of stuff that we talk about in store, like grading and condition and other stuff like that. So that is, if you are interested in collecting comics, that is a handy guide, so pick that up. Unicorn Crush is another favorite that I tend to see every other year. They have rotating graphic novels. There's probably 8 or 9 already, so there's something to buy right away, but there's probably a new one coming out this year. Spidey and His Amazing Friends, they've definitely had a couple of graphic novels, and they're going to highlight Spider-Man. This one's going to be new stuff. Young Jedi Adventures is coming this summer from Dark Horse, so they do have the license for that. And we're also going to be getting a new Plants vs. Zombies book, as we always do. That'll be fun. Paper Cuts has got Encanto, Disney Encanto. Now, Paper Cuts only does graphic novels, and usually theirs are more digest size, but I'm assuming the size of this one being magazine means that the actual graphic novel will also be this size. So there you go. So you can get your first look at the Encanto graphic novel. Another perennial favorite, Investigators. All right, they'll be having a new graphic novel. They've already got 2 or 3 on the market. This one's relatively unknown, Ultra Duck. Arcana is a smaller studio. I want to say that this is already done and they're doing a sequel this year, but I'm not positive of that. That's how small this studio is, so check that out. We have another sneak peek for something new called Unico, and he just looks like awesome unicorn. And this is from Scholastic, so they do graphic novels, so obviously that is a new one coming out probably this summer. And as always, we always love a good Pokemon comic for the kids, and it looks like Splatoon 3 will be getting a new graphic novel, so all you Pokemon fans. And what do we got here? So the new Doctor Who is premiering, and he's also going to be premiering in comics. So this is a preview of the upcoming new Doctor Who series starring the new Doctor. Night Librarian, this one's an unknown to me. So this looks like a new YA graphic novel coming out this year. So that looks fun. Boom likes to do a extravaganza where they kind of go over some of their YA properties under their Boombox label. So yeah, this will just be kind of an anthology looking at all the new stuff that you can get. So obviously Lumberjanes is always a perennial favorite. But yep, you can check that out. Also extremely popular, Loud House. So they have many, many graphic novels. They're actually reprinting them in 3-for-1s. That's how many they have. So they used to be singles, and now you can get 3-in-1 volumes of Loud House. So plenty to look at after you check out the comic. And here's a license I didn't expect to be back. Massive, which is a smaller studio, looks like they've got the Popeye IP. So it looks like a new Popeye comic will be hitting the stores. And that art's pretty cool, actually. So that should be fun. Peanuts. I believe this one is either out or coming out because I've already ordered it. It's the Beagle Scout Adventures. Again, another one-shot graphic novel. Witches of Brooklyn is another YA graphic novel that'll be releasing soon. And from, who has this? I'm not sure which company has this license, but Katie and the Cat Center and Max Meows are both graphic novels that have been out for a while. There's multiple volumes, so you can check that out if you've never read either one. And lastly, this used to be a huge, I used to get asked for this back in the day all the time, Asterix. So this is a European, probably one of the most famous comics in the world because this is the biggest thing in Europe ever. So, yeah, what is happening with it? I don't know. Paper Cuts may be releasing graphic novels finally, maybe translated. So that will be interesting. All right, so check that out. All right, so that is all the green or all ages. So now we move on to the blue, and the blue signifies kind of our, I don't know, I'm going to say like 10 and up, maybe 12 and up. It depends on the title, but obviously probably not for 6-year-olds or whatever. But for the most part, these are good for everyone. So, all right, let's start up here. Looks like we've had a lot of the old pre-code horror stuff getting reprinted from the various companies. So this may be more of that. This is from Fantagraphics. So they do a lot of these reprints of that old stuff you just can't find. So they're probably promoting that. Hellboy. I believe they're doing a new Hellboy series on Netflix. So maybe that's why they're pumping it up this year, because there really hasn't been a lot of Hellboy stuff. So yeah, Hellboy's awesome. So, and then also it looks like Stranger Things, which has been having an ongoing series of miniseries for years now. So you can check that out. Maleficent was one of the Disney Villains miniseries. So this has already been, this is a reprint of #1 issue for those of you who have already read it. The graphic novel has just come out, so it's available. But yeah, it's part of the Dynamite's line of Disney Villains. They're currently publishing their line of Disney Heroes. So check that out. Turtles, always a fan favorite. A new Turtles book is releasing this summer. It's going back to #1. So I'm sure this is just a preview of that upcoming storyline. So that'll be fun. Another IP that is coming back with a blast, Jonny Quest. The last time we saw this, I believe DC had the Hanna-Barbera stuff, and that was a decade ago. So Dynamite looks to have gotten this property, so that could be fun. Another blast from the past. This one I'm excited for. I'm a big Flash Gordon fan. It looks like Mad Cave got the Flash Gordon IP. I like that art, so this should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Archie, as always, has been doing one-shots in their horror universe, and it looks like they may be doing a big event. So this is a prelude to the Cursed Library, which may be their horrorverse event, so we can check that out. And another IP, we know it as Battle of the Planets, but overseas it was called Gatchaman, so they've decided to pick that up. Also Mad Cave. Mad Cave picking up some IPs here. So yes, Gatchaman, or Battle of the Planets, is back, and I know not only do they have this series, but they've also already got a miniseries starring, is his name Jace? I forget what the head guy's name is, but I think he's also getting a miniseries right off the bat. So there you go. If you're a fan of that show or just want to check that out, that's some fun. Valiant is touting a new one called The Valiants. So they're always kind of in mid-relaunch there at Valiant, so if you're interested in whatever they're doing right now, you can check that out. All right, so American Mythology Productions, they do some interesting stuff, but, you know, I'm not sure. Cursed Verse, obviously some sort of crossover with some of the IPs they have, so don't know a lot about that. That company is notorious for just, oh, man, their shipping is just... They just never hit their ship dates, sorry. It's just one of those companies. Okay, and yeah, James Tynion is all over the place, so no one company can claim him as their own. So Boom is just doing the Worlds of James Tynion, which is going to be probably looking at, you know, obviously Something is Killing the Children is the big one, but he's done a lot of other projects. So if you're just a fan of his work, or you want to get to know his work, you can check that out. All right, so DC has a couple of big books. Well, actually, one big book and a couple of smaller books this year. So their big book is touting the event Absolute Power. So this one starts, this is their big summer event, summer crossover. Amanda Waller is the big villain, but it also includes Failsafe, and is that the new Brainiac? I'm not sure who that is right there, but that's Failsafe from the Batman, and then Amanda Waller. So yes, this looks to be a huge story in the DC universe, so if you read any of the DC comics, you're going to want to check that out. Also a big universe is the growing Energon universe. So they are releasing the Energon universe special, which is going to maybe bring you up to date on what's going on and tout some things to come. So if you're reading any of the G.I. Joe stuff, Transformers, Void Rivals, you're going to want to get that. And just released this week, Blood Hunt #1 for Marvel. That's their big event, and it's vampires, vampires, vampires. So not only do you get a preview of that, and this is, while I wouldn't consider it a story, it is different from Blood Hunt #1. So just because you got #1, this does have some snippets of prelude stuff that, would be different than what you get in the #1 comic. And also, you're going to get a preview of the upcoming return of the Uncanny X-Men, which doesn't happen until, I want to say, July. So you get a preview of that title. So there you go. Marvel Voices, they've been doing these for the last couple of years. They're always a bunch of one-shots that highlight certain gender, races, ethnicities, that kind of stuff. So we're going to get a preview of that. And lastly, Marvel's third big one is a Amazing Spider-Man. So what's up with Amazing Spider-Man? Plus the Ultimate Universe. So that's been a huge hit. Obviously, they're adding the Ultimates coming up, so it's probably a little preview of that. But yeah, maybe there's some other stuff in there. So if you're a fan of the Ultimate Universe or you're just a fan of Spider-Man, gonna check that out. And what did I forget? Oh my gosh, May the 4th is Star Wars Day. So of course, we couldn't go without a Star Wars comic. So there you go. Star Wars comic, you get 2 stories. One featuring the classic cast, and one, I forget what the other story is. I think it's a Darth Vader. So yeah, there's a Han, Leia, Luke story, and then there's a separate Darth Vader story. So there you go, Star Wars. All right, some video game tie-ins, getting free comics. You've got Street Fighter. They have a comic from Udon, once every 4 months, there'll be a Street Fighter one-shot or something coming out. So, and then the other one is Far Cry, who's already had one miniseries, but it looks like they may be getting another one. And this is under Tokyo Pop, so this is going to be Japanese-inspired, I guess, more like the Resident Evil comic. So I believe the first Far Cry was Dark Horse, so that's interesting. Went to a different studio. Monster High is a new graphic novel coming out from IDW, so that'll be self-contained. That's a preview of that. And our manga fans, so obviously One Piece has been dominating the manga market for a while now, so you get a new One Piece story and a preview of the graphic novels that are currently out. And then it looks like a new one, Status Royale. Don't know much about that one. And then another famous older one, Initial D. They keep promoting this, so I don't know whether it's getting more play on the various networks or whatever, but that is an older property. But yeah, Initial D. If you like car racing, check that out. We have another take on Romeo versus Juliet. So it's a Kill Shakespeare adventure. I don't know. It's another take. And it's by Gemstone. Another DC book. So this one is, even though it looks like it should be all ages, they're giving it the blue symbol. Barkham Asylum. So they'll probably release that as a graphic novel. Another what looks to be horror-ish anthology-type book in the style of that 50s stuff. I don't know this company. 10 Ton Press? Yeah, they must be new, or I've never ordered anything from them. So, all right, and that's all of the blue labeled. So let's go on to our red labeled. So red labeled is obviously meant for adults. So 17 and up, 18 and up, I don't know, you choose, you're the parents, not me. But there you go. The red label stuff is, we're going to start with a manga, red label manga, Dying Inside. All right, so I don't know what that is, but it is by Vault. So then we've got our Conan book. So, Battle of the Black Stone, that must be a new miniseries coming out from Titan. And then lastly, from Ablaze, this is a new manga called Gannibal. Gannibal. Cannibal with a G, I guess. Oh, and it's streaming now on Hulu, so there you go. Okay, so, all right, everyone. So, 46 comics, plenty for the kids, plenty for the teenagers, plenty for the adults. I hope you enjoyed my little look at what's available. Remember, at all stores, everyone's got their own rules, got their own amounts. We do pay for this stuff, and we give it out to the public for free, so we don't have an infinite amount. I can't guarantee that everything will be on the table by the time you get here, whenever it is, but we always have free stuff to give away. You will not walk away without some free comics. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And have a great day and happy May 4th. Bye-bye.